If you're thinking about putting on your own content, do yourself a favor and just get started because it's worth it.
Please stand away from the platform edge.
We're going to figure out finally what maybe 2 blocks of time a week that we set aside for calls and meetings. Because when we start having them like all over the week, they become like inefficient. But if we can cram them into a little tight time, and we're gonna be doing them right here. It's Monday morning at the office right now. We got a new office. We're here in Chelsea. People ask me all the time, like, how can you get press? And like people will try and hire a PR agency and all this other stuff. And you don't need a PR agency. You just need to engage and put in the work. I'll show you what I mean. Someone emailed me an article. It says 7 best venture capitalists for Black entrepreneurs. They go through and they list all the top Black VCs. Now at Harlem Capital, if we're not on the list, if we're not in the conversation, then we're not doing our job. So I promised my team that I would get us on the list for sure. Any list talking about Black VCs, we have to be on, or else I'm not doing my job. So I said, okay, no problem. You look to see who's the writer, right? And then you click on her, and then I found her on Twitter. I went to her profile. I engaged with her. I said, hi Sequoia, enjoyed your recent piece on Black Enterprise, 7 Black VCs. Glad to connect here. You might be interested in the work we're doing at Harlem Capital. Link. Knowing that she would then reply and check it out, she did. Dope, looks super interesting. I'm gonna check it out. Appreciate that, I followed up. If you're New York City based, would welcome the chance to connect sometime. Browse through the blog, love your work. Thanks, I'm actually in the Bay, but would love to connect either way, DM me. So then I DM'd her, and now we're gonna jump on a call. She's gonna fall in love with the mission and the team, and the very next time she writes an article about Black VCs, guess who's gonna be on the list? Right now, I'm about to do something that I am dreading. I am moving over to a new agency, and I'm gonna send an email off to my current agent, let him know that it's not working out, and just let him know that I'm moving on. So it's a good discomfort to face, but it's uncomfortable nonetheless. But I've been with my current agent for maybe a year. It's been a good relationship. They're great speaking agents. But right now, there's so many things popping off for me that I need more 360 representation. Making sure that we can still work very closely together and that I'm happy to take the hit. So for instance, if you guys can still hustle for me as you've been, right? And let's say you find something again and you bring it to me through, I'm happy to be the one to take the hit on the finances. So in other words, you guys take the cut that you normally take, you can take their cut, and I'll take the hit on the cut because I still want you to be heavily incentivized. Does that make sense? Word. Well, shit, I appreciate you, man. Obviously it's like no hard feelings, much love for you guys, have nothing but the best thing to say for you guys. Is there anything that I can be like particularly helpful with? Like, are you wanting more speakers on the Rolodex that I can recommend, or like how can I be helpful? That went pretty well. They're very understanding. It's gonna be harder. I'm doing that one after lunch. So we just finished up this breakfast with Wired Magazine. We heard from Wesley Chan, who is the founder of Google Analytics and Google Voice. And it was pretty much just to talk about just kind of getting his perspective on where things are going next. And we hear a lot of talk about this. Gary's been talking about it. Amazon's pushing hard on it, but it's becoming more and more clear to me that voice is really the next frontier. Voice allows you to unlock and interact with your home in a different way, with your car in a different way, with content. It's really, like, we thought for a minute, by we I mean like the whole ecosystem, that it was gonna be VR, AR, but I think it's just not there yet. I think it feels a little bit much to put on these goggles and, enter into a virtual world, where it's been fascinating to see that voice kind of snuck in through something simple like a speaker. Anytime that the landscape changes, established players lose their footing, and it's an opportunity for new players to jump early and build audience and become the market leaders. So again, when you hear of a big opportunity, think about what this could potentially mean for you. I'll be thinking through how it is that I can respond and adjust, and whether it's content, whether it's investments, or whether it's real estate, how can we adjust to these new changes, because they're coming and it pays to be ahead. Friday morning, end of the week. We're headed down now to the office. It's been a good week. It's been a week of figuring out our growing pains. So right now, because we have so many things firing off in so many different directions, real estate, media, venture, I personally have been dealing with being overwhelmed with scheduling and things falling through the cracks. And at first it starts with one or two things, and then it snowballs, and before you know it, you're literally thousands of emails behind. You're behind on engaging on social, which is something that I care deeply about, engaging with you guys. And then you miss opportunities, and then you just don't win. So that's been something that this week we dedicated to, all right, figuring it out. Let's develop process around it. How can we streamline scheduling? How can we streamline meetings, calls, etc.? And really kind of bringing that mentality into the year coming up. So my startup story is working a job, caring more about the people that I interacted with than the money I was making, and as a result, unlocking the hearts of people that were in a position to potentially help me. I got an opportunity to start a business with someone that ended up caring about me, and then ultimately leaving everything, making the scary decision to leave everything that you're doing to pursue this full time, and knowing damn well that you're probably gonna go sometimes days without eating. You're gonna make less money when you start, but being committed to doing that. Not because in those days I didn't know about Amazon, or I didn't know what the word entrepreneur was. It wasn't anything like that. It was more I can't breathe when I'm working for someone else. I suffocate, Paul. To have another man tell me what to do, that's fine, but I was not in an environment where I felt that the people that were bossing me around were smarter than me. So I was wait a second, this guy's not smarter than me, and he's miserable, and he's not even doing anything that he loves. Why would he be able to tell me what to do? It just felt strange to me, and I was no, there's no way that I can't go out there and create a life for myself that I love. And so I embarked, man, and I haven't looked back. It's been 7 years. In every stage, there's unique opportunities, and if you're too focused about the next man's opportunities, the next woman's opportunities, you're never gonna be able to flourish on your own. So I'm just a big fan of like, hey, where are you right now, and what's the best thing that you can do with what you have right now? And trust me, if you're listening right now, like there's a lot more that you could be doing. I'm certain there's a lot more that you could be doing. I know, even at like, for instance, where I'm at, there's a lot more that I could be doing. And I work a fucking lot, Paul. I work a lot. And I know I'm not even scratching the surface with what I could be doing.